Welcome to the Uplift with Vision. We're so very glad that you join us, and I know that we all appreciate that this is available every day, that we have a chance to spend a few minutes to just be with ourselves, be with God, be with the truth of our being. So I invite us to start then with a centering prayer. Please join me. Putting our attention then on this magnificence that is our lives, the gift that we have been given called life. And right now I claim that I receive that gift so fully and express gratitude even in the gift of this breath and the next. So I know that this gift that is given to me is something very precious. And I choose to be aware of that, and I choose to be careful with it, to be careful with my life, to be careful with this gift of life. And so I give thanks for this time together to remember how precious we are and how precious life is, and just to look together to what we can do to be more appreciative of it and more mindful of its incredible value and gift. I release these words. I know that today is fulfilling. I know today is uplifting. And I let it be, and so it is. So the gift of our very lives. And what I'm here to share with you, and certainly to talk to myself about, is this whole area of self-care. We know we should be doing more, especially in these times. My goodness, anybody else notice how challenging it is to take time for yourself, to be able to squeeze in some time for you, and yet how important it is. And let's look together at the reason we would do such a thing. Why would we take time for ourselves? There's people that need us and work to be done, and a lot of doing, and a lot of ways we can busy ourselves. So we're talking about this whole idea of self-care. And the basis of it is, of course, that we are precious, and that we are made of the beloved and for the beloved, and expressing those qualities. And we have the opportunity then to remember that we are expressions of this most loving and most gracious God, that we are that. So if we can't take care of that preciousness, then we need to learn how. We need to regard ourselves as Spirit has created us, absolutely precious. And so thinking of ourselves then as something beautiful, not really fragile, but certainly precious. That favorite thing possibly that you've kept from your childhood, or that you display on your china cabinet, that thing that you regard as so dear to you. That's you, and that's me. That we are the precious gifts. We are the something that needs nurturing, and if it needs to be done, it needs to be done by us. That we all know that, to wait around for other people to say, you need to slow down, or you need to take better care of yourself. That's not really others' job. It's our job, and it's how we honor ourselves as the creations of Spirit. So I'm going to share a few ideas with you today about how you can, in fact, express a little more self-care. Maybe even a self-care routine that would work for you. And that's really key. And the first thing is to find out what is important to you. What makes you feel centered? What makes you feel alive and happy? And scan around your world and say, what is it? It could be anything from, you enjoy a back rub, you enjoy a bubble bath, or perhaps you just enjoy a color. My sister, when we were growing up, she had the chance to get her own room. We converted the den to her own room, and we split up then. We'd been growing up as sisters in the same twin bedroom. And then all of a sudden she got her own room, and she wanted that room painted lavender. And so it was. And that color was happy for her. She's recently moved to a new home and told me the other day that she has decided to do the decor and the accents in her bedroom and in her bath purple. So there's something about that color that speaks to her. Now, maybe you have a color that speaks to you. Is it in your environment? Or how could you have it be in your environment? Something, an object, a keepsake, a table mat, whatever it is, that color that really supports you. Maybe it's an aroma. Maybe you know that scent of that aromatherapy is the one that just brings you to a point of taking care of yourself in that simple way. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just to do simple things that show that you are taking time for you to bring things into your world, into your environment, into your space that feel like self-care. Because to leave them outside, or to keep those beautiful things that perhaps you save for when you can entertain again, bring them out now. Bring them out now, and allow that to nurture you, even as you set the table with your favorite china, or you use those cloth napkins that feel like today's a special day, because I'm special in the way that I'm remembering who I am. So that's one idea, is just figure it out. What makes you feel centered? What makes you remind yourself that taking care of yourself is a priority? And then brainstorm, look around it and see which of those things could you in fact incorporate. Bring that color in, bring that aroma in. So first you come up with your list, just list a bunch of stuff. List a bunch of things that make you happy. Don't judge the list, just write down things that make you happy. And then see which of those things you can bring into your environment. A very, very simple way to add self-care. And we can also obviously do things that take longer, that take more of your energy, more of your time. But we'll look together to see what some of those things might be. So once we have a list, and then once we think, well, how could I bring some of that in? Then how can we go about making sure that we do that? And that might be to start in a very simple way to add your new awareness, your new self-care practice to your life on a regular basis. So maybe every day you have that aroma that speaks to you and makes you feel present and centered and cared for. Or maybe every day you make a point of bringing that color into your world. Or every day you walk outside and enjoy nature every day for just 10 minutes. But you make it part of a routine. Certainly for me, every day I can sit and meditate is a way I practice self-care. Every time I do a little yoga, even if it's a few minutes of yoga, I feel like I'm saying yes to me, yes to the things that will help me center, will help me remember that life will go on, even if I give myself a self-care break. And then after you've done that for a while, let's say you've tried some of these things or for a week, then see how it's going. See what's working, see what's helping you carve out that time for you. Burnout is not required, no matter who you are. And I know this from my experience too. I have thought that everybody else needed my time and attention, and I would give it away, and then I would be exhausted at the end of the day. Are you exhausted now? Are you feeling depleted? Please consider ways to fill yourself back up. And in this way, we can just tweak. First we observe it, what's working, what's not, and then just tweak it, change it up a little bit, see what might work. It's like trial and error. well, that worked for me to do it that way, but maybe that meditation that I was trying to do, it wasn't the same for me as journaling would be better. And that's a self-care practice. And walking outside is another option. And if you find difficulty walking outside, then just bring some light into your room. Just be more aware of things that nurture you. And help, even as you hear the words self-care, nurturing, you're remembering why you would do such a thing. And that is because you are the beloved of the beloved. That Spirit wants your joy and your happiness. And that's who you are. And let's try together to agree to not put a lid on that reality, but to enhance that truth. Make more self-care practices a celebration, a meditation in themselves, a way we praise Spirit, a way we worship, if you want to consider that term. How can we honor this incredible gift of life and remember whose and who we are? So I invite you to consider some of these practices, and I had a little list here. Things like just starting, with 20 minutes of something, or starting with 10 minutes of meditation, or starting with that, bringing that color in, or starting with having textures that really allow you to relax and be and enjoy. Maybe it's a matter of turning off your devices a little earlier, or going to bed a little earlier, or allowing the experience that you're having to be more full. Taking a shower and feeling the water, or singing in the shower, or whatever brings you that feeling of well-being and self-care. And do it consciously. Do it with, if you have to say to yourself, I am taking care of myself right now, even as you're doing it, that will enrich and enhance your awareness of what's really happening. So those are just, again, a few tips. It shouldn't feel like a chore to give yourself self-care. What it does is it heightens your self-awareness, and that's a good thing. It equals self-love. We're taking time aside to be caring with ourselves and regarding ourselves with tenderness and love. The good news about all this, and sometimes people think self-care is being selfish, but we know that when you're caring for you and you're feeling more filled and loving, everybody is benefited by your love. So no more thoughts about not taking time for yourself or considering it selfish. Considering it a way that you honor yourself as the precious creation of a most loving God, and then you connect with others because you have filled yourself almost to brimming full, and then you have that gift of your presence to give lovingly to others. So I wish you well in your journey of exploration, maybe finding what kinds of things, long list of things that you would consider self-care, choosing from among those and finding a practice you could experiment with for a week, and then evaluate at the end of the week. How's this going? How's this working? How can I enrich this? Or how can I move on to something that enriches me even more? And then remember that what we're doing is being even more available to ourselves, to our God, and to others through this practice of self-care. Let's close now with a meditative treatment. Oh, I do give thanks for this opportunity to remember that prayer and meditation and nature and connecting with friends and all those gifts that we can give ourselves are not something we want to avoid, but something we want to enhance. And we know that Spirit has given us these wonderful things given us color, given us nature, given us aromas, given us friends, given us awareness, so that we can, in fact, take the time we need to bless the gift, receive that gift, circulate that gift, be willing to absolutely take the time we need. Take some time for you. And it's praise, it's treatment, it's worship. It's remembering who you are and whose you are, and celebrating that, and expanding on that, and expressing incredible gratitude for yourself and for the opportunity to remember. So I'm so grateful that we have the chance to recall these things, to put these things into practice, and to practice loving self-care. I release these words. I know that whatever was useful in this time together and in this prayer, I know that it is received and acted upon with ease. And so it is. So once again, I do thank you for allowing me to come into your home, or wherever you are, onto your phone perhaps, just for this brief time to remember that self-care is a good thing. So I enjoy the week. I'll enjoy practicing with you, and we do invite you back every day at 1 o'clock for our Uplift. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Be well.